Well, hello, heroes. Welcome this week to the Storied Coaching Podcast. This week, I want to talk about looking back toward the beginning of the year so that you can look forward as we approach these last several weeks. Because that's really all we have right now is a little bit more than a month. And when I say a little bit, I mean just a few days more than a month until the end of the calendar year. Many of you are entrepreneurs, are business owners, are leaders in the corporate space as well. And you have goals that you set at the beginning of the year that we all do when we're fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed and have all the optimism in the world of all the goals we're going to hit in January that we think about that we're going to hit through the rest of the year. And through the year, those goals can change. Some of them you hit, some of them you don't hit because things happened. Some of them change because what you thought was going to be important for your business changed. The business may have changed. What your customers need may have changed. And you pivot. You pivot to give them the value and to serve them how they need served so that your business can thrive and that they can get their problems solved and they can get the results that they need in their business. So they rehire you or continue to work with you. And hopefully the cycle goes and goes and goes and goes. But we are at a time in the year where we're right getting up towards the end of what your clients may have needed or thought they needed up until this point. And now things may be changing, or maybe not even changing. Maybe they just have some specific things that they may just be becoming aware of that are weighing on them. And there's two different ways that I want you to look at this right now that could be absolutely game changers for your business in the next 4 weeks, as far as bringing in some last minute deals, closing some last business, and setting yourself up for a fantastic first quarter, January, February, March of next year. So let's start there right now. So if you haven't, first of all, hit all your goals, if you're a little bit hesitant to bring out that piece of paper or that note in your OneNote or your Evernote or wherever you take your notes, to see all of the different goals you had for your business and revenue targets and things like that, growth goals, that's okay. You're perfectly human. Congratulations. The whole point of setting those goals at the beginning of the year was not for you to be perfect and hit them all and check them all off. And that's the only way that you get to feel successful. There are going to be ways as you go through your year that you're going to redefine what success means. And you're probably going to have a little bit of monkey brain going on, telling you, oh, you're changing things. Are you changing the goal? Are you changing the result because you're scared? And if that is the case and you're being very honest with yourself, then yes, it's time to re-examine that maybe you're just fearful that you're not going to be able to get there and you're giving up. You tried taking the scooter to get to the destination, to get the result, and the scooter didn't work. And so you gave up. And if that's the case, then, okay, we need to talk about the fact that, okay, the scooter didn't work, but what about the skateboard? What about the roller skates? What about the bike? What about the e-bike? What about the car? What about the bus? What about parachuting? How about paragliding? Let's take a plane. If you just need to change the way that you're approaching the problem and try it from different angles, pivot to get a different result, okay, fair enough. Maybe you need to re-examine. There still might be time, even between now and the end of this year, for you to hit some of those goals. Dust them off, blow the dust off, see if you can still hit some of them. But what I'm talking about right now is a little bit different than that. And that is, okay, you had some goals. You had the things that you wanted to hit by December 31st if you're going by the calendar year, if you're being super old school. However, there may be an opportunity right now for you to re-examine what your clients need in two different areas of emotion. Because I've talked about this before, when we are building stories for our clients, and whatever you're selling, whatever you're marketing, whatever your business does, there's a story that goes along with that and how you help your clients achieve success and get the results they need. That is wrapped in a story. Now, right now, they are being forced to look at the end of the year and how they're going to feel about hitting some of those same goals that they had as well. So empathetically put yourself, you know how this feels, so put yourself in their shoes. They have some things they wanted to get done by the end of the year. Now, we all know Anyone that's ever taken a marketing course or a sales course knows that we as humans make decisions based off of emotion. And we like to think that we don't, that we're super above that. We only use our forward brains and we're super logical and we make business decisions that are based off of logic and then we feel good about them. But that's not what Harvard study after psychological study says, is that we are emotional creatures. We decide how we want to feel, and then we reverse engineer the logic of why we need to rationalize doing that thing so that we can feel that feeling at the end of it, which is great. Once you know that's how human brains work, it's how our brain works, it's how your brain works, how your client's brain works, then you can start to meet them where they're at. And so right now you have clients that have two things that are coming up for them. One of them is the end of something, the end of a story, and one of them is a beginning of a story. And you can address both of them at this very specific time of the year right now. And it's rare that you get to do this. It only happens a few times each calendar year. And this is one of those times. So you've got an impending deadline coming up, in their brain at least, that the calendar year is ending. What are they worried about won't happen before December 31st? I really want you to think about this. Grab a piece of paper if you need. Think about it. Take a walk. Think about it. What are they worried is not going to happen? It's not going to get over the finish line in the next 4 weeks. And if you don't know what it is, it's time to pick up the phone and give them a call and just ask them. Ask them how you can help and what they're worried about that you may be able to help with and help them get done before the end of the year. So that first emotion that they're having right now is based off of, it's fear-based, it's scarcity-based, it's worry-based. So how can you remove that pain from them and help them be that person in their corner that will help remove that pain with whatever service or product or whatever you do, your skill set? How can you help them with that? Send them an email, drop them a text, give them a phone call, whatever you need to do. The second emotion that they will be feeling soon. They may not be feeling it right now because they're focused on that scarcity fear of what am I not going to get done or am I worried won't get done before the end of the year. The next thing that they are going to start feeling very, very soon is that what would they love to have happen, let's say before February 1st, that first week of January, after everybody comes up for air after New Year's and we're back in the saddle, what would they love to get set up? What track would they love to start that would help them feel really good that they have momentum or they're laying the groundwork for a fantastic 2024? So what are they moving towards that would be positive? What services do you offer? What products do you sell? What things could you change even slightly as far as the story and the messaging that would help them to be able to get to what they need for this next year? So we've got those two different things that are fighting against each other right now, but could be great opportunities for them to get a final result that will endear you to them and help you get more business, close some business now before end of year, and set you up for a fantastic 2024 and help them get set up for a fantastic 2024. So there, you have a very small window right now where you can do this. And you don't have to do it with every single client. Just think of a few people that you have a gut instinct may need a little bit of help right now, for other conversations you've had with them at other times of the year, or maybe even recently, that they might be concerned about something. Reach out, ask them, hey, is there something I can do to help you get this over the finish line before the end of the year? You'll be amazed at how much they will be relieved to get that kind of help right now. And then, as the yes and to your story, what's coming up for them in that first month? What could you do to help them set themselves up for success in this next year? So looking back, what could you do? What were the goals that you had? How can you align some of those and get some of those things done for you in this final push? And what can you do for your clients What can you bring to the surface for them to help them and be that trusted advocate to help them with their story so they can help you with theirs from a business perspective? Look back at that collective knowledge, the things that you've learned this year in order to move forward, move yourself forward and move them forward. So that's what I wanted to leave you with this week, is that if you're thinking it's too late and you're throwing up your hands and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this list that I just blew dust off of. I didn't get half of these things done. What could you still maybe move the needle on between now and the end of the year? And how could that align with some things that, first of all, like I said, they might be concerned about? They might be in pain. You could help alleviate right now because of the time crunch that they're feeling. And then how can you set them up for a fantastic first quarter that will launch them into the rest of the year for next year? Now, if you're in sales or in marketing or running your own business or you're a solopreneur, all this may have been resonating with you. Now, if you are like, I'm not in that kind of role, Aaron. I'm not in a role right now where I need to go and find new business or sell things. I'm working on a team right now at a large corporation, or, like one of our clients we just worked with at Meta, they're putting together a new team, or at Microsoft and they're training up and coming up with a new team. That's fine. That's wonderful. Those people still have goals that they're hoping to get done before the end of the year and things that they want to set up to be successful for the rest of next year. What things have they committed to get done that you could help them with? Reach out, tell them you were thinking about them. You can be super authentic about it. Just reach out and say, hey, I was thinking it's getting towards the end of the year and I know I have some things to cross off my list to feel successful. Is there anything that I can help you with in the next 5 weeks that would help you feel like you really got across the finish line and made it even more of a successful year for you? And then just offer to help. It's really that simple. And then in the same breath, say, hey, is there anything I can help you with coming up in this next year? Fantastic. And if you're working on one of these teams and you're setting yourself up for these kinds of things, think about what you could do right now in order to feel good about those things and get those done before the end of the year. And start to think about, hey, it's not too early. What do I want to get done for next year? What are some things that just in those first couple of weeks might, even if it's just putting on my calendar on the Thursday of the first week of January, I'm going to set aside this block of 3 hours to align my goals for the next year. It's not too early to put something like that on your calendar that will make you feel like you're moving towards the future that you want to create, the story that you want to build for this next year. All right, my friends, that's it for this week. Have a fantastic week. I will talk to you soon. And until then, just think about what could you look back on that would help you serve forward for your clients right now in the short term and in the longer term as you set up 2024. I will talk to you soon. Have a fantastic week, my friends.